Hey guys, we're back at it again with another installment of our educational videos about our health. Welcome back everybody, I'm Janelle. Today I'd like to talk to you about bone and joint health, or rather bone health. Here recently I had a health class talking about bone and joint health, and I thought what better thing to be able to talk about today and to share with the rest of you guys about bone and joint health. But it's going to be a long one, so today we're going to be doing part 1 of bone health. So I'm going to be going over quite a few slides for information to help give me a reference point. So I hope you'll find it educational and encouraging, inspiring, all of the above. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's talk about our bones, shall we? Joint diseases in particular, now along with bone health, account for nearly half of all chronic conditions in persons ages 65 and over. Back pain is the second leading cause of sick leave, and osteoporosis-related fractures have almost doubled in the last decade. Yikes. And 40% of all women over 50 years of age will suffer from osteoporotic fractures. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Pardon my speech impediment. Half of youngsters then also are not meeting the recommended calcium intake. In the United States, an estimated 10 million people over 50 years of age and older have osteoporosis. Most of these people are women, but about 2 million are men. Just over 43 million more people, including 16 million men, have low bone mass, putting them at increased risk for osteoporosis. There's been studies done on different bone structures and different things that you can do for them. We'll get into that a little bit later. Let's talk about osteoporosis a little bit more. Well, healthy, strong bones are solid, dense structures which allows for an active lifestyle, weightlifting, running, jumping, being very fit and active. Great, that's what we want, right? Unfortunately, osteoporotic bones are porous and brittle structures which lead to more fractures. What can we do to help prevent this kind of disease, osteoporosis? Well, we can exercise for one, to be able to help keep our muscles strong, and that also helps keep our bones strong. But if we're not giving our bodies the right kind of nutrients, can they really become as strong as what we need them to be without breaking? Another thing that we can do to help ourselves is through a healthy diet. Getting enough calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, especially as much as we can through our diet, is great. But unfortunately, as we've covered before, our diet just isn't adequate enough many of the times to meet the needs of what we need for cellular nutrition, because our diet is rather lacking in those nutrients anymore these days. So let's talk a little bit more about calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. Calcium is critical for development and maintenance of bones and teeth. Vitamin D promotes calcium absorption, and then magnesium helps keep your bones strong. A little bit more on calcium. So calcium is essential for proper secretion and activation of hormones and enzymes, muscle contraction and relaxation, transmission of nerve impulses, and cardiovascular function. Unfortunately though, the older you get, the harder it is to absorb calcium and get enough of it into your bones, which would probably help to explain why it's so much more frequent then, as we continue to age, why people are getting more and more fractures, lower bone mass. That would make sense. There's some calcium deficiency in kids then as well, maybe partly due to the fact that unfortunately, even if we're trying to get enough calcium through our diet, like as in dairy, there's been studies that have found that the more dairy you actually eat, it's because it's acidic in our bodies. The way that it's processed in our bodies, it can actually leach calcium from our bones to make up for that acidity in our bodies. Hopefully that makes sense. But the body uses the mineral calcium to obviously build strong bones. A process that's all but complete by the end of the teen years. Bone calcium begins to decrease in young adulthood, and progressive loss of bone happens as we age, particularly in women, probably because we bear children and we give a lot of that bone or that calcium to our offspring. And then, bearing the children and nursing teens, especially girls, who don't provide the diets that don't provide the nutrients to build those strong bones, are at all the more potential risk for developing osteoporosis. Late signs of puberty in the case of adolescent females can be a sign of calcium deficiency. Also, menstrual related problems can also be a sign of, like, PMS, the cramps, bloating. According to the USDA, half of youngsters aren't meeting the recommended intake for calcium. Tooth decay can be a sign of calcium deficiency, and also delayed tooth formation, even in babies, can be a sign of deficiency. Now let's move on to vitamin D. Many people probably know we need a good amount of vitamin D, especially in the winter months when we're not out in the sun, being able to absorb the vitamin D. Low levels of vitamin D are linked to heart disease, autoimmune disease, cancer, depression, osteoporosis. Essential for proper neuromuscular and immune function. D3 is 3 times more effective than D2 in the body. And an average person needs between 5 and 30 minutes of direct sun exposure of the face, arms, back, and legs without sunscreen per day, preferably. As people age, the amount of vitamin D made in the skin after sunlight exposure declines. Bummer. Let's move on to magnesium now. It's essential for over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, supports energy metabolism and protein synthesis, essential for healthy muscle and nerve function. It maintains healthy heart and immune function, promotes normal blood pressure. Now back to the vitamin D and calcium absorption. So there's been 7 major randomized trials of vitamin D evaluating the role of vitamin D in reducing the risk of fractures. The groups that took vitamin D in combination with calcium experienced a lower risk of fractures than the groups just supplementing with vitamin D alone, irrespective of age, gender, or previous fractures. So where are you going to get this calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D through? Like we said, it's nice to be able, you'd like to be able to try to get it through your diet, but unfortunately, the way that it's processed in our bodies, sometimes we can't get enough through our diet alone. That's where in a supplement form, it's nice to be able to have handy to cover your gaps if you are lacking in that area, just to make sure that you're getting all that you really need. Neolife has a product called chelated CalMag, and it's highly bioavailable calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D for strong bones, teeth, nerve and muscle function, and more. It is readily available and absorbable sorry about that, let me back that up. It's readily absorbable and highly bioavailable. There we go, got it. It comes from pharmaceutically pure seashell-derived calcium. And it's formulated with preferred 2-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium to best meet our body's needs. And it has a double amino acid chelation to promote higher calcium and magnesium absorption. What is chelated? What's this word? Please let me know this. Chelated minerals are minerals that have been chemically bonded to amino acids and other organic acids to enhance their absorption into the body. The word, it comes from the Greek word chele, I think that's how it's pronounced, meaning claw-like. So it grabs a hold of these other acids, amino acids, and bonds with them to be able to have better absorption. Excuse me. Chelated minerals can yield up to 6 times the absorption rate of non-chelated minerals. The double amino acid chelation was first formed by Dr. Arthur First, who was also on the Neolife team. It significantly increases absorption of minerals. It has a rapid, the triple Ds, disintegration, dissolution, and dispersion. And it is less irritating to the stomach and intestines in that way. So Neolife also has other products that have calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D in them. If you're interested, you can direct message me, let me know. But there are other ones other than just the chelated Cal Mag. And so, that's their main product that has like all 3 of those specifically to help with the calcium, magnesium deficiency that most everyone often suffers from. So that is really all that I wanted to cover with bone health for now. Like I said, coming up later, I'll be going over joint health. That very much correlates with bone health, but a little bit too much more information to make this video a nice little short segment. So anyways, yeah, that's all that I wanted to cover for that. So if you found this information useful or helpful, please like and subscribe, and give it a thumbs up, and let us know that you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, I'd love to be able to hear any comments down below too. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, direct message me, and I'll be happy to get back with you as soon as I possibly can. So until next time, be blessed and have a good evening. Take care, everybody.